My goal, to answer as many questions as I can about Disney World's ticket options. The purpose, to make sure you can make these purchases in the future with confidence, knowing that you're doing the right thing. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. So picture this, you open your laptop, ready to purchase those Disney World tickets, your finger hovering over the trackpad, but when it comes to actually sealing the deal and clicking buy, you freeze. This is a huge decision to make. It's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. What if the tickets you're about to spend hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars on aren't what you need to be purchasing to pull off the best Orlando vacation ever? What if you're missing something? What if you're missing multiple somethings? Okay, hold on. Let's not get all stressed out over a hypothetical situation. We do that all the time. The DFB team and I are here to make sure that whatever questions you've got about Disney World tickets are answered today. And if we don't get around to answering your specific question, you can always drop it in the comments afterward and we'll answer it there. Speaking of YouTube comments, we went scouring through the comment sections of our past dozen or so odd videos to find any and all questions you might have regarding Disney World ticket purchases. So we're going to start off today's video with a little quick Q&A lightning round just to make sure those of you who ask these questions get the answers you've been searching for. First, the thing I get asked all the time. Can I get discounts on park tickets anywhere? Okay, my knee-jerk reaction to this question after like 20 years of doing this is to say, be careful. That question is very dangerous. Let me expand on that. There is the possibility of getting Disney's theme park tickets at a discounted price, and the most reliable place you can find discounted tickets is going to be through Disney themselves via their special offers, deals, and discount page on their website. But internet scammers know that you're looking for even better savings opportunities, so they're going to whisper sweet nothings in your ear, claiming to have the best promotions out there that'll get you your Disney tickets for dirt cheap. Unfortunately, if a site doesn't have any credibility to stand on, like an earmarked diamond producer, seal of approval featured somewhere on their page, for instance, then they more than likely don't have your best interest at heart, even if you've heard friends use these third-party sites successfully in the past. It's always best to err on the side of caution. There are some third-party places out there that do have reliable savings, like Sam's Club or AAA or Costco, but just keep in mind that if you do purchase through a third party, whether it's a store or an agency, and something happens that disrupts your trip, like a hurricane, Disney's not going to be able to help you reschedule anything or refund anything. You'll have to rely on the third-party sites instead and see what their policies say, which may involve a whole lot of extra research on your part. You might also want to look into booking a reliable travel agent to help you avoid the headache and heartache of tracking all these savings down yourself. You won't be buying the tickets from them, but they can help you figure out the biggest bang for your buck. We always recommend Small World Vacations for that. They're never going to try to sell you tickets from their own coffers. They're going to help you to buy tickets through Disney, and they're totally free to use. So if you want to reach out for a free quote, we'll add their link down in the description for you. Now, next part of this dangerous question, what if you buy unused tickets from eBay? Please, please, please be careful when it comes to buying tickets that don't come from Disney. If you see an eBay listing for Disney World tickets that don't expire, that's not necessarily a lie, but it's still a web you don't want to get tangled in. Once upon a time, Disney tickets didn't have expiration dates. According to the Disney World website, Disney World will honor your tickets as long as there are remaining days and the tickets are not expired. So if you purchase theme park tickets in 2003 or earlier, you should still be able to redeem any unused days. But if you purchase your tickets in 2004 and beyond, they're not going to be any good to you anymore unless, of course, you want to use them for credit toward future ticket purchases. You can always call Disney's number at 407-939-1289 if you want to clarify any ticket technicalities that can seem a bit hazy, like those eBay tickets. But my word of advice, I would not rely on these older tickets for any upcoming trips, especially if you're seeing someone sell super old tickets on eBay. It's just better to purchase new tickets under your name for a normal price and be guaranteed valid park entry versus gamble on tickets for a slightly cheaper price and potentially be turned away at the gates. Do I have to purchase tickets in advance or can I wait until I'm on Disney property to buy them? You can absolutely wait if you'd like and purchase your tickets once you get up to the park ticket booth you want to visit that day. But I don't necessarily recommend that if you can avoid it. Not only will you miss out on getting a head start booking your lightning lanes, we'll talk more about those later on, but you're also going to slow yourself down in the morning. While others who have already purchased their tickets online are able to walk up and scan right into the park, you're going to have to take some time to get your group all set up with tickets, and there could potentially be a long line you'll have to wait in to make that happen. And that just means more people are getting in line for the big rides ahead of you. So I'd consider a day of park ticket purchase more like a safety net option. If you go to Orlando and your travel plans change, you now suddenly have an extra day to explore one of the Disney World parks, then go for it and grab yourself a ticket. But otherwise, get them in advance. Next question. There's no reservation system anymore, right? If I buy a ticket, I'm good to go. For the most part, that's correct. If you're purchasing a date-based ticket, which is literally a normal ticket that most out-of-state guests will purchase when planning their vacations, once you've got your tickets locked in, you're golden. However, select guests with non-date-based tickets, including, but not limited to, Disney World annual pass holders and cast members, will still need to make park pass reservations before their visit, most of the time. The exception is that if a non-date-based ticket holder is visiting on a good to go day, which is when Disney throws their hands in the air and says no reservations needed for anyone today. This tends to happen around the park's slower seasons. Non-date based ticket holders can also visit the park's reservation free if they're dropping into a park after 2 p.m. Unless they're planning to visit Magic Kingdom on a weekend, then they gotta have those park reservations handy. I know, so many rules. There's a lot of howevers and exceptions and caveats to keep track of here, but if you want to make park pass reservations as an annual pass holder or other non-date based ticket guest, you can do that on the Disney World website or through the My Disney Experience app pretty easily. See that plus sign on the bottom of the app's page? Tap it to toggle to a list of options and tap on the Make or Modify Park Reservations button, then follow the steps from there. But if your ticket has a date on it or a date range, you don't need to make reservations, you're good to go. Next question. I actually missed the park pass reservations. What happens if the parks reach capacity before I arrive? Well, it's nice not having to worry about that extra park pass reservation step, since that gives you a whole lot more flexibility to switch up plans if need be. The one good thing that park pass reservations used to do is guarantee your spot in the park. Normally, you won't have to worry about the parks reaching capacity during your visit. Those parks can hold a lot of people all at once, and frankly, I don't even want to be there if they're at capacity. However, whenever the parks do reach capacity, we usually see it happen on and around major celebrations like 4th of July or Christmas and New Year's Eve. So what happens then though? You got a ticket and what? You're just not allowed to use it? Usually Disney World will send out notifications on the My Disney Experience app as soon as a park has hit capacity. The good news, since the park pass reservation system is gone for the most part, you're more than welcome to visit a different park that hasn't yet reached capacity if you've got a multi-day ticket or a park hopper ticket. You can check on the status of the other parks by calling the park capacity hotline, and that's 407-560-5000. This is going to let you know which parks reach capacity and which ones are currently still available for you to enter, so you don't head all the way over to another park only to be turned away at the front gates again. So yes, you'll still be able to use your park tickets. You'll just have to use them at your Plan B park option instead. Not to mention, as people leave the park, more people will be allowed to file in. So your Plan A park could lighten up on crowds by the late afternoon or evening, which is another reason why you'll want to continue checking in on that park capacity hotline as it gets later in the day. With all that being said, my biggest advice if you're going on one of those really busy days is to plan on getting to the parks as early as possible and just staying in them. That way you can make it inside before Disney has to make the call to shut the gates and you've got your spot. Next question. I bought my tickets, but now I have to cancel my trip. Now what? That is a huge bummer. I am so sorry. I have had my fair share of canceled vacation plans too. Unfortunately, Disney World tickets alone are non-transferable and non-refundable, which is why it's not a bad idea to look into investing in some sort of travel insurance just to cover your hide in case something unprecedented happens, and you don't want to be out a lot of money for it. Another thing you can always do instead, though, is push back your trip and adjust your ticket dates so they don't expire on you. Just go to the My Tickets and Passes option on your My Disney Experience app or on the website, select the tickets you want to modify, and follow the prompts from there. Next question. Do I buy my multi-pass and single pass and premier pass at the same time as my park tickets? Well, unless you're purchasing your park tickets leading right up to your travel date, then no, you won't have to worry about purchasing any of those skip the line services until later. So how much later are we talking here? It depends. If you've booked your tickets and a room at one of the Disney World Resort hotels as a vacation package, you can purchase and or select your first round of lightning lanes up to 7 days ahead of your check-in day for your entire stay, up to 14 days. That starts at 7 a.m. Eastern. But if you're planning on staying off property during your visit, you can purchase and or select your first round of lightning lanes 3 days in advance instead, also starting at 7 a.m. The wide world of lightning lanes is a vast and slightly intimidating one, but we do have have a free Lightning Lane guide that can help make things a whole lot easier for you. Just scan the QR code you see on the screen now or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/multipass if you want our full digital companion that goes in depth with talking about best Lightning Lane practices and detailed descriptions and even a healthy dose of reality checks. Because let's face it, investing in Lightning Lanes might not be the best fit for everybody. Next question. Is there any benefit to purchasing my park tickets in a vacation package bundle versus separately? Maybe. I think the biggest factor here is which one's going to give you the best deal. A vacation package bundles your ticket and hotel costs together, which is nice because you can potentially pace out your payments better that way. Disney World requires a $200 deposit when you book a vacation package, but the remaining balance can be paced out in a way that works best for you, just as long as you pay off the remaining balance of your vacation package before you're 30 days away from your trip. Meanwhile, if you're just paying for your theme park ticket separately with no hotel room attached, you're going to have to pay the full amount when you check out on the site. The separate ticket purchases might be a better route if you're less than 30 days away from your trip, but if you've got time to pace out the payments, then vacation packages could be a better way to go. Then again, if you were planning on staying in an affordable hotel or Airbnb outside of Disney property, or if you can get a discounted hotel room on Disney property without the package, then a vacation package could suck you into paying more for a nightly stay than you were originally planning to invest. It's a seesaw of decisions here, folks. Another good thing about vacation packages is they do have refund policies just in case your plans change. You can get all your money back, including your deposit, if you cancel 31 days or more before your vacation was supposed to kick off. Inside that 30-day window, you'll still get back all the money you've already paid, but you'll lose the $200 deposit. However, if you don't cancel and just don't check into your hotel, or if you cancel 24 hours or less before the vacation begins, you'll lose all of it, which isn't fun. A vacation package purchase is also one of the few ways you can add the Disney dining plan onto your trip, which basically prepays for the majority of your meals before you get inside the parks. You don't have to have the DDP to eat around Disney, but some folks love it for its convenience factor alone. Still having trouble deciding which path to take when you've hit this fork in the road? Check out Disney's special offers, deals, and discounts page on the Disney World website, and you can see what potential savings opportunities are happening right now. Sometimes you'll find deals on vacation packages, but other times you'll find deals on those separate hotel and ticket purchases. Either way, it's worth crunching the numbers and seeing which route is going to help you save the most money in the end. But don't let that stress you out. Our Small World Vacations friends can help you with all that extra math too, so you don't have to break your brain. So let's say you're in the Orlando area, maybe visiting a relative or an old college friend, and you kind of want to go to Disney, but you don't necessarily want to spend an exorbitant amount on tickets to make that happen. Good news, there are still plenty of things you can do around the Disney bubble that you don't need park tickets for, like Disney Springs. This place is completely free for you to check out. You can even park there for free. Though I wouldn't say your wallet's going to make it out completely unscathed when you're surrounded by hundreds of shops and restaurants and activities all day long. You might also want to take a Disney bus from the Disney Springs district to check out one of the Disney World hotels, because those are totally free to go to, although they do also have lots of restaurants and shops and activities for you to take part in too. You just won't be able to swim in the pools or use the gyms as a non-hotel visitor, but everything else you can do. And hey, you might even want to take a ride around on the Disney Skyliner or monorail just for the fun of it all. I will be honest with you, when I had a transportation-obsessed toddler, we used to spend entire days just riding the Disney buses, riding the Skyliner, riding the monorail. We even have a list of all the different Skyliner gondolas that we have ridden in, and we keep updating it every time we go, because each of them has their own little number. So sure, a Disney World park ticket is going to unlock the majority of the fun on property, but it's not required to unlock all of it. You might have 3 options to choose from here when it comes to accessing your park tickets throughout your trip, but I'll let you know right now that there's no right answer to the question. It's just whatever works for you. The first is the traditional way with a Key to the World card. That's the little plastic card that's got a cute little Disney character slapped onto the front of it. These little dudes are totally free to use, and all you gotta do to get your hands on one is request them at the front desk of a Disney World hotel or at guest services or guest relations or the ticket sellers at the parks. Not only will these cards allow you to successfully scan into the parks, but they'll also unlock your Disney hotel room door, connect your PhotoPass pictures that you take around the parks, and even work as a second payment method if you connect your card information reservation to your My Disney experience and hotel ahead of time. The second way you can hold only your ticket info is still free, but a bit more high tech, and that's your Magic Mobile option. Magic Mobile is basically Disney's version of like your wallet on your phone, right? It essentially turns your phone into your key to the world card through the My Disney Experience app. You can find these tickets and reservations by tapping on the little hamburger menu button at the right-hand corner of your screen, and Disney Magic Mobile should be the third option down next to your future plans. You'll also be able to add that Magic Mobile pass to your digital wallet on your phone, like Apple Wallet for those Apple iPhones, for instance. And once you've done that, you can pull up the pass on your digital wallet when you need to scan into the parks. By the way, here's something that was very confusing to me for a very long time. If you're going to use Magic Mobile, you do actually have to put your ticket into your wallet on your phone in order to use it. Can't just kind of pull it up on your My Disney Experience app. Very confusing, something that it took me a long time to get my head around. And then there's the third premium option, Magic Bands or Magic Band Plus. Magic Bands are Disney's wristband accessories that basically do everything the Key to the World cards and Magic Mobile features can do, and then some. If you decide to get really high-tech and upgrade to a Magic Band Plus, your band will light up in sync with the fireworks shows or allow you to take part in specialty games, like giving you the chance to become a Batu bounty hunter in Galaxy's Edge. But unlike the Key to the World card and Magic Mobile, Magic Band and Magic Band Plus do cost money. The cheaper Magic Band tends to cost around $20, and they're usually pretty basic, while the most expensive Magic Band Plus options, or those with specialty designs, can get as high as $45 or more per band. So you'll definitely want to talk things over with your group to see if the extra investment before your trip is going to be worth all that extra dough, or if you're just going to be better off sticking with the freebies. All right, you're coming to Disney World from another country. Congratulations and welcome. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one's tricky to answer because it really all depends on where you're traveling from. But the Walt Disney Travel Company, or a reliable travel agent that serves your area, should be able to hook you up with the deets and get you all set up for your dream Disney World visit. And if you're traveling out of the UK or Ireland, get this. The Walt Disney Travel Company has a special ticket deal where you can get up to 20% off 14-day tickets. For the record, a 14-day ticket is an international specialty. If you're purchasing tickets domestically, they only go up to 10 days at a time. Now, for the record, if you're an international guest wanting to add multi-pass or single passes to your park ticket purchase, which are both part of Disney's premium Skip the Ride line service, you can do that, but you won't be able to officially pre-select any lightning lanes until you're on US soil. So you might want to plan on arriving in the US a little early for your vacation, just so you can have those pre-selections under your belt before your park visits. If you're traveling out of Canada, you can also get discounted tickets for your upcoming Disney World vacation. According to the Disney website, Canada residents can currently purchase 4-day Disney World theme park tickets starting from $109 per day plus tax. But just note that all adults will need to show proof of Canada residency at a Disney World theme park ticket window prior to first use. Ah, yes, that flashing blue rejection light. I know what you're talking about. Let me show you something. This is what happens when a Disney World ticket is successfully scanned and you're allowed into the park. And this is what happens when there's an issue with your ticket. Now, if you get up to the front gate and you see this bright blue light flashing at you, don't panic. Disney's going to work with you to figure out what's going on, so hang tight. If you notice that whatever situation's happening isn't going to be easily fixed by a front gate cast member, then you can request to talk to the park's guest services so you can save time and help others behind you to get into the park faster instead of holding them up. Often guest services will be able to pinpoint the issues and get it squared away, or at least show you what went wrong. But other times, the mistake is easy enough to fix that you'll be able to fix it before someone else comes along to help. For instance, maybe you're accidentally using an old park ticket or a Magic Band that's not linked to your account. Or maybe you're using the wrong finger for identification. When you use your ticket for the first time, you'll be required to choose a finger to scan for fingerprint identification for the remainder of your visit. If you scan, say, your thumb, but you accidentally scan your index finger the next time around, the blue warning light is going to flash. Mistakes happen. We've all been through the blue little rejection light, believe me, and you'll get through it too. I promise. Ooh, I love the answer to this one. Nothing. No, I'm serious. You won't have to pay a thing to take your 2-year-old or your 1-year-old or your infant into the park. Kids who are 2 years old and younger can get into the parks for free. And bonus savings, these kids will also be able to eat free at the table service buffets too. Well, what they say is that they'll eat off their parents' plate, which is basically eating for free. Okay, so that covers your questions at the moment. You asked some really good ones, but hold tight. If your park ticket question still hasn't been answered yet, there's a good chance I'm about to address it right now. All right, it's the ultimate ticket showdown. On one side of the ring, you've got single-day tickets. On the other, you've got multi-day tickets. Who will win the battle and ultimately the key to your vacation? Well, not to suddenly make things anticlimactic, but it's actually not much of a battle at all. It really all depends on just one important factor. Will you or will you not be spending more than one day in the Disney parks during your vacation? So if you're planning on spending 2 or more days in the parks, then you're going to need a multi-day ticket. Multi-day tickets will cost a set amount depending on the day you select as your first park visit. For example, let's say I want to buy 4-day park tickets for a vacation this May. Notice all the different price options you'll find on the calendar. If I select my first day in the parks as May 24th, then all of my 4-day park tickets will cost me $156 per day, per person, no matter which park I'm planning to visit on which day. However, if I go ahead and move up my visit to a starting day of May 3rd, all of my 4-day tickets are going to cost me $148 per day, per person instead. You can use this little pricing strategy to your advantage to save you a little money on multi-day tickets. How? Okay. Hold on, 1-day ticket. I'm going to get back to you, but I need to interrupt this point real quick. Okay, I feel bad for the single-day tickets, but I knew this useful hack needed its own point. As we've already established, when you're paying for multi-day park tickets, you're not actually paying for specific days. You're paying for a range of days. When you choose a ticket start date on the Disney World price calendar, Disney's going to show you the days you're actually paying for. So let's go back to our little 4-day Maycation example that we were working with before, the one with the May 3rd start date. You see, you're not paying for 4 consecutive days here. You're actually paying for a range of 7 days in which you can choose which 4 days during that time frame you want to use your tickets. That means A, you can go to the parks whenever you want in that 7-day range as long as you only use 4 days, and you can get them all out of the way in the first 4 days. You can save them to the last 4 days, or you can break them up so you have rest days in between. And B, you can choose the cheapest day possible close to your trip as your starting date without actually having to be in the parks on that day if you don't want to be. Just keep in mind that this tip is only going to work if you're buying tickets on their own. If you're buying a vacation package, that's going to lock you into the days of your hotel reservation for the start date of your ticket. Okay, back to the single-day tickets. Sorry about that, single-day tickets. Didn't mean to steal your thunder. Let's make this next point all about you, because you guys are interesting. 1-day, 1-park tickets do work differently than multi-day park tickets, because not only will those prices fluctuate depending on the season, but prices will also be based on which park you want to go to. That's right, Disney's ranking these babies and making the most popular ones more expensive. So let's say I only wanted to visit one park on May 3rd and do other things in Orlando during the rest of my vacation, like check out Universal Orlando or go to a wax museum or drive a bit further and chill at one of the beaches. These are the prices per park that I can expect to pay on May 3rd. Animal Kingdom is the cheapest, $154. Epcot and Hollywood Studios both at $174, and you've got Magic Kingdom coming in hot at $179. But let me throw you a hypothetical situation. Let's say you pay for a 1-day park ticket to Epcot, but your group changes their mind and decides they want to spend that day in the Magic Kingdom instead. What happens then? I mean, you've already paid the price for an Epcot ticket and you have the reservation in place. So does that mean you're stuck? No, you're more than welcome to pull the old switcheroo if you need to. Just keep in mind that if you're switching to a park that was set at a higher price originally, you'll need to pay the difference after you successfully switch over. To switch your 1-day ticket park, select the My Tickets and Passes option on the My Disney Experience app, and from here you should be able to select the Change Ticket option next to each ticket you want to update. The app's going to lead you the rest of the way from there, but if you're still having trouble making this change, you can always call Disney. It's 407-934-7639 and ask about your existing tickets. Quoi? A third ticket option? Color me intrigued. Okay, there'll be times throughout the year when Disney will offer after-hours events over at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios and Epcot. We love these. You know we love these. For select nights, you'll be able to buy tickets to enter these parks as early as 7 p.m. and stay in the parks until 3 hours after they close for everybody else, meaning you'll be able to conquer so many rides in a single go without having to worry about massive crowds everywhere or tons of sun that's basically trying to kill you. Now, since these events will be capped off at a certain number of guests to guarantee crowd levels stay low, they can and do sell out, but that means if you get a ticket, you're going to be one of the only ones in that park, and it can get pretty ghost towny in there on these nights. By the way, you also get free snacks throughout the night, like popcorn, Mickey Premium ice cream bars, and sodas. Similarly, Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios have after-hours holiday parties toward the end of the year, like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights. These are not only going to give you the chance to ride a ton of rides with fewer crowds, much like the after-hours events do, but you'll also be able to participate in fun and festive holiday shenanigans like trick-or-treating or watching specialty parades and fireworks shows, dancing in the Snope down Main Street, USA, or watching ice skating performances in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater replica. The thing about these events and parties is that they can often cost the same amount or more than a regular theme park ticket. And I'm not saying those prices aren't worth it. What I am saying is that things can get awfully expensive if you decide to buy both a day ticket and an event ticket, as in double the amount you'd normally pay for a standard visit to the parks. The good news, you don't have to pay for both ticket types if you don't want to. If you'd rather stick with seeing the parks during the day, just purchase the regular theme park ticket. But if you'd rather check out the party scene and skip the daytime park visit altogether, stick with an after-hours ticket this time around. And if you really do want to experience both the parks during the day and at night, all in one go, especially if you're not planning on returning to Disney World anytime soon, then do not let me stop you. Once more, there are no wrong answers here. It just depends on what you and your travel group decide to do. By the way, I've never been more creeped out than when I've been in the Magic Kingdom during an after-hours event over in Liberty Square by Haunted Mansion, and there's like nobody over there. I was like the only person. It felt like I was the only person in the whole park, which is wild. Ooh, this is one of my favorite ticket topics, my friends. Park hoppers, yay or nay. So there are people who are really, really passionate about park hoppers, me. And there are people who are really, really not. That's Bria. But I'm going to lay it all out there for you and let you decide if these are going to be a necessary expense to tack onto your park tickets. Park hoppers are exactly what they sound like. They allow you to freely jump between Disney World parks however you want to each day of your visit. After the COVID closures, park hoppers had some specific restrictions put in place that didn't allow you to do any park hopping until after 2 p.m. But back in January of last year, those restrictions were lifted. Hallelujah, giving guests a whole lot more park-to-park flexibility. The freedom! Now, park hoppers have surge pricing similar to the park tickets themselves, but typically they'll range around $65 to $85 per ticket, depending on the time of year. And then you have the Park Hopper Plus option, which is more around the $85 range. Now, Park Hopper Plus, not really the best deal as far as we're concerned. I'll tell you why. Park Hopper Plus allows you to hop around from park to park and either visit one of the Disney water parks or another Disney experience entirely. Usually these are like golf and mini golf and ESPN Wide World of Sports visit, and that's pretty much it. You get a certain number of visits to these extra Disney World activities based on the length of your ticket. So a 2-day ticket will get you 2 visits. A 4-day ticket will get you 4 visits to these extra things, etc. Now, this Park Hopper Plus option is only going to be a good deal for you if A, you were already planning on visiting one of the Disney water parks, and B, if you were already planning on park hopping during your visit. Otherwise, it's best not to pay for this most expensive ticket tier if you're not planning on getting full use out of it. It's also not worth adding on if you're only planning on using it for one of the mini golf courses or going to a water park one time. Not to say these mini golf courses aren't fun or anything, but they only cost $19. So no, the extra Park Hopper Plus, which costs you $85 per person, not going to be worth a rousing round of putt-putt when you could have just paid for a game separately for way cheaper. Now here's another major caveat I want you to consider about park hoppers. At Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, there are only 2 parks you can hop between, and both parks are just steps away from each other, so park hoppers are pretty convenient to use on the West Coast. For real though, you could leave DCA and enter Disneyland in like sub 8 minutes. They're literally right next to each other. But when it comes to Disney World, you're looking at a resort area that's the size of San Francisco, and no, those parks are not steps away from each other like they are in Disneyland. That means it's going to take time to get around. If you're park hopping because you have a dining reservation or a lightning lane reserved in another park, be sure to give yourself enough time to get between parks. Get in the gate, walk to your destination. For some reason, every time I need to park hop, the thing I need to do in the next park is always as far across the park as it possibly can be. Like, I will enter into Epcot through the main entrance, and then I will have to walk literally all the way over to France. I don't know, it just always happens that way. So I always end up where I'm going like super sweaty and like breathing hard. But don't be like me. A general rule of thumb is to allow at least an hour to hop from park to park, though the trip between Hollywood Studios and Epcot will probably be shorter thanks to the Skyliner system. Now, don't fret. You don't have to purchase park hoppers yet if you need some more time to think things over. Even though you'll see park hoppers as an add-on option when you're making your park ticket purchases, you can skip it for now and add them later if you change your mind and decide you need them after all. You can even add them when you get to the park, but don't wait to purchase them until too late. When it comes to park hoppers, it's all or nothing. So you can't pick and choose which days you want to use park hoppers for. The price you pay for park hoppers is based on your original number of ticket days, not how many days you have left in the parks. So if you're on day 3 of your 5-day park tickets and you suddenly decide you want to hop, you're still going to have to pay the price for all 5 park days, including the first 2 days when you didn't even use it. Now, do you really need those water park tickets? Disney's water park tickets to Disney's Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon are on a completely separate plane of existence from the Disney World theme park tickets, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're paying for a standard 1-day water park ticket out of pocket, it's going to cost you $74. And honestly, I could end the point right there. That's easy enough to remember, right? And it might be all you need. But the water park ticket options don't stop, won't stop. While a regular day water park ticket can be used literally any time of the year, you can also choose a 1-day water park ticket that has a limited number of blockout dates for a slightly cheaper price point, $64. Or you could choose to pay a few dollars more, like literally $5, and splurge on a water park seasonal pass for $79, giving you unlimited visits to whatever park is open during your visit. The current seasonal pass available on the Disney website is good for unlimited water park visits until May 23rd, 2025. Or you could just access the water parks for free. Ooh, now there's a mic drop moment for you. During all of 2025, anyone staying at any of the Disney-owned hotels, including Disney Vacation Club properties, will receive free tickets to the water parks for everyone on your reservation. And while I wish I could tell you there's no strings attached, there are a couple of strings. First of all, you'll be able to use this perk at either Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon, but not both. And that's because ever since the 2020 shutdowns, both water parks never stay open at the same time anymore. So one will open and the other will shut down for routine maintenance. Second string, you can only use your free water park privilege on your hotel check-in day. Granted, you don't have to check into your hotel just yet in order to use that water park perk, so you could technically hop on over to the water park as soon as you cross into the Disney bubble and start enjoying this 2025 benefit as soon as possible. But if you need to drop off your luggage before you start enjoying all that free water park goodness, you can still swing by your hotel first thing before your room is ready and ask Bell Services to hold on to your stuff. Now, if you decide to do a split stay this year, which means you start your vacation at one Disney hotel but move to another midway through your vacay, you can technically get 2 water park days for free. So, to put it in layman's terms, 1 Disney World hotel check-in equals 1 free water park ticket. 2 Disney World hotel check-ins equals 2 free water park tickets. 3 check-ins? That's right, 3 water park tickets, you get the idea. So if you stay in a different hotel every day of your vacation, you're gonna get a different water park ticket every single day of your vacation. Now, it's time for you to go and purchase those Disney World park tickets with confidence. Don't worry, we'll still be with you every step of the way. And if you're looking for more Disney World travel planning advice for this year's big trip or next year's, be sure to check out our Disney World 2025 YouTube playlist next to find lots of videos dedicated to best rides, best hotels, best tips, best restaurants that you can check out in the new year. Now, remember, this is what we do all day, every day, 365 days a year. So we've been to all the restaurants, we've stayed at every single hotel, and we're going to be completely honest with you about the best of the best and maybe what you want to consider before you make your choices. Also, don't forget to download that free Lightning Lane guide we talked about earlier on over at disneyfoodblog.com/multipass if you want to learn more about each of Disney's premium ride line bypassing services. Not necessarily the most interesting read, but very, very helpful. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.